This is the business I tell you to start if you wanted 2026 to finally be the year that you built a business up enough so that it allows you to quit your 9 to 5 or your employment. And it doesn't require you to get any inventory. You may not need to spend any money, especially in the beginning when you're just getting things running and getting things off the ground. And you don't need to learn a new skill not related to the actual work that you'll be doing. So what I'm talking about is starting your own consulting business. And really anybody with any skill can package what they know how to do and the knowledge that they have into a consulting business. And I think before, for many of us, we associate this type of business with people who work in specific industries. Maybe it's someone in tech or someone who's a lawyer or somebody in finance, but that's not necessarily the case, or even maybe doctors, but it's not necessarily the case, not anymore anyway. You really just have to be smart about how you think about the skills and the knowledge that you already have, even with the different jobs you've had. Think about what has somebody been paying you to do? What has your day-to-day look like? Already that's proof enough that people are willing to pay for those skills. So the better way to kind of differentiate yourself or to be able to charge more and, charge higher prices is the combination of skills that are unique to you. Because, everyone's employment journey is different. Everybody's work journey is different. So while you may have all studied the same things, maybe with the people that you are in school, while you all studied the same things, you didn't all end up doing the same types of job. There are things that you specifically were kind of drawn to, industries maybe that you were drawn to, or, just specific knowledge based on what you learned, in school that you wanted to keep applying, that you wanted to keep growing, things that you wanted to keep learning more about and understanding. Those are the things that make you unique and make your skill set and the knowledge you bring unique. So that's one part of the equation is what are you bringing to the table? And then the next part that's equally important is who are you serving and what problem are you solving for them? And those two kind of go hand in hand. So this could look different depending on what your skill set is. It may not be what someone else would be doing. So a good example is somebody maybe who studied finance and then they ended up working in insurance companies. And now they may be able to, because they have a good understanding of how insurance policies work and what the market looks like. So they have in-depth knowledge that not everybody has about the particular sector that they were working in. And then they also know what's missing for people who don't have the same knowledge or expertise and also understand what needs they have. So they're kind of connecting. They're the connection point between what people need and based on their lack of knowledge and what they know, how they can use that to bridge that gap to help them get the solutions that they really are looking after. So that's one example. And really, it will look different for everybody. So don't try to kind of be limited or limit your mind to this is how everybody else does it. I really want to challenge you to look at your own career path, take stock of what have I been doing in the last X number of years. And if it makes it easier, kind of go year by year or depending on how long you've worked at whichever company you've worked at, just write down. So what skills have I been doing? What tasks? So you could easily start from what tasks have I been doing? If the skills don't immediately jump at you. So what tasks have I been doing? And then what skills did I learn from them? So there'll be the skills that maybe you started with when you're starting your journey. And then there'll be the skills that you've learned along the way. And then you could also take note of what gaps have you noticed or what things do I know that maybe not everybody else might know. And then think about what problem having that knowledge solves for them. So it's not enough to just have the knowledge. It's how do you package it into something that somebody actually wants to pay for? And that's because you're solving a problem for them and it has to be a very specific problem that you're solving for them. And it's a problem that exists and it's a problem that they're willing to have pay to have solved. And then also that you're marketing yourself to those people. So I have a free 5-day course that helps you figure out what consulting niche would be best for you based on your own unique journey, your own unique skill, everything that, you've been able to learn so far on your career. And then how do you turn that into a business that is actually profitable? So for it to be profitable, it means there's an existing market. So like people who are actually looking for the specific skills and the problems that you can solve with those skills, that market exists and that they're willing to pay for it. And then I'll also show you how to figure out if it's like oversaturated and how you can think about differentiating yourself, as well as helping you really like hone in on how am I marketing myself to this person? And I'll show you how to come up with the one sentence that sells your business so that you can pitch your services confidently. So I would just like to tell you that I know it can feel so intimidating sometimes when, you want to start a business, but you look around and you're like, so many people are already starting other businesses. So many people are already doing this. Like, is there room for me? Is this a good idea? Or, the market is already too saturated. And then also kind of, it's been made to look like, oh my gosh, like growing on social media, because depending on the type of consulting business you'll be building, you may either be using social media as an outreach platform where maybe you're sending targeted cold pitches to potential clients, or where you're casting a wider net and you want to attract the people that you're solving a problem to you. So regardless of either, it's also been painted like, it's so difficult to grow. But I feel like, and that there's so much more content nowadays, are you even going to stand out? And that's a fear mentality. So I don't want you to step into this, project and this business that you want to build with that fear mindset, because then you won't go anywhere. Because the truth of the matter is, as much as there's an explosion of content, there's everywhere you go, every social media platform that you're on, there's content waiting, for you to consume. As humans, I feel like we've become even more choosy and picky in really wanting to see the things that matter to us, the topics that matter to us, content that we actually resonate with. So in that space, there's a gap to go even deeper, because I feel like the businesses that are going to thrive in 2026 and beyond are those that, go deeper and not necessarily cast a wider net. So if you need help figuring out, your consulting niche, how to package the knowledge skills, that you already have, then I've linked my free 5-day course in the description below for you. So check it out, and I can't wait to see what you build.